Hello students, today we'll be talking about simple sentences and how to work towards improving our sentence fluency by knowing and understanding what a simple sentence is. When we think about sentence fluency, we're thinking about how well your sentences are constructed. We're also thinking about how to make your sentences flow together. And in our writing, we're thinking about how to combine different types of sentences. So today we're going to be starting with the easiest type of sentence, and that is a simple sentence. A simple sentence contains an independent clause. Now, some of you might be wondering, what is an independent clause? So an independent clause contains at least one subject and one verb. A subject, as most of you know, is a noun, which could be a person, a place, a thing, or an idea. A verb is an action word or a state of being. So an independent clause needs at least a subject and a verb. And when it has at least a subject and a verb, it's going to make sense on its own. For example, Julie ran. We have the subject of Julie and we have the verb of ran. Julie ran is an independent clause and it makes sense on its own. This could be a complete sentence. So could fish swim. We have at least one subject of fish and we have the verb of swim. This is an independent clause and this could be a complete sentence. Now when we think about simple sentences, we'll be talking about the 4 different types of simple sentences. We can have a sentence that contains one subject and one verb. We can have a sentence that has one subject and 2 verbs. We can have a sentence that has 2 subjects and 1 verb. And finally, we can have a sentence that has 2 subjects and 2 verbs. Anytime that we have 2 subjects or 2 verbs, we will be calling this a compound subject or a compound verb. And we combine compound subjects and compound verbs using the conjunction and. So let's look out for that conjunction and when we're looking through these example sentences. Let's start with this one. This is a simple sentence. Both of these are simple sentences. I like to travel, and Paris is a magical city. Both of these sentences contain one subject and one verb. In the first one, we have the subject I and the verb like. In the second one, we have the subject of Paris and the verb is. This is, again, the most simplest of our simple sentences. Our next example is a sentence that has one subject and 2 verbs. Dogs like chasing their tails and enjoy taking naps. We have the subject of dogs, and what do dogs do? Well, they like as one verb, and is our conjunction here, connecting us to our other verb, which is enjoy. So therefore, we have one subject doing 2 things, like and enjoy. Here's another example. Miss Miller and her friends ate an ice cream cone in Hermanus. In this sentence, we have 2 subjects doing one action. We have the subject of Miss Miller and we have the subject of friends. And what are they doing? Well, they ate. So this gives us an SSV simple sentence. Here's another simple sentence example. Elephants and leopards hide in the bush and fascinate humans. In this sentence, we have 2 subjects and 2 verbs. We have the subject of elephants and we have the subjects of leopards. Now they are both doing the same actions and they are doing 2 actions. The first one is they hide and the second one is they fascinate. As you can see, our subjects of elephants and leopards are combined by the conjunction and, while our actions are also combined by the conjunction and. This gives us an SSVV simple sentence. Let's just quickly review. A simple sentence contains at least one independent clause. An independent clause makes sense on its own. It contains at least one subject and one verb. And we talked about how there are 4 types of simple sentences. SV, SSV, SVV, and SSVV. Students, these are the terms that you are responsible for knowing, so please make sure you note them in your OneNote section and complete definitions for each of them. I hope you enjoyed our presentation on simple sentences and will work these into your own writing as soon as possible.